vision impairment where you're going to lose your vision eventually and you're not knowing if it's definitely going to go or it may stay or it may not. It definitely drives me to really make sure that I kind of live life to the full and jam pack in as much as I can.
The Los Angeles Track World Champs were the first major success for Phillipa Gray. Until then, she'd been seen as an understudy. She hopes to be selected for the 2012 Paralympics in London.
It's that success and that drug of success is what strives you to try and make that New Zealand team for the Olympics, and when you get to the Olympics and then it's going to make you try that much harder to get that gold medal. I mean, the gold medal is ultimately the biggest success you can get, and it'll be the biggest high that you'll ever be on, and you'll be able to live off that for at least, well, you'll live off that for the rest of your life.
Phillipa was born with Usher's syndrome. It affects her balance, hearing and her sight. The little sight she has is rapidly deteriorating.
Some nights I'll go to bed and look out my window and it's like I've got the row of trees outside my window, and you know, like you get a beautiful sunset and it just looks amazing. You don't get some of those views elsewhere, and it's something you always remember. I'm going to lose my vision eventually, you know, like, and I've got that image ingrained in me. And
she's in a hurry to do as much as possible before her small window of sight disappears completely.
When I look at people face on, like I can't see the bottom of their chin, can't see their hairlines, can't see their ears. But then I'm pretty lucky to have that little bit of vision in the middle. Because I can still see everything, but I can't see it all at once, so I scan where I'm going.
2 years ago, Phillipa was a shy country girl living in rural Waikato. Paralympics New Zealand could see her potential. It was just a question of which sport.
I was a rower at the time, and I said, oh, I've heard cycling crosses over well with rowing. They said, why don't you try tandem cycling and we'll find you a pilot and go from there, and pretty much everything's blossomed, and I'm now in the New Zealand bike team trying to get to London and hopefully make it with my pilot Laura.
An ex-tall fern, Laura Thompson is an elite athlete.
Laura and I, we've only been together 5.5 months. We don't know each other well enough yet, but we're getting better and better as just experiences come along and stuff.
Everyone here has years of experience. It's intimidating. They've barely had time to click as a duo, and now their tandem act is about to be put to the test. They're joining a well-established crew of athletes at a World Cup cycling event in Sydney. Phillipa and Laura have only once raced a road event. Phillipa needs the race experience. The bikes are shipped in pieces and reassembled on arrival.
They've probably been up to an hour in here, changing seat height, changing handlebar length, and they're trying to make it as comfortable as possible and in a position where we've got good aerodynamics and can still put out good power.
It's a matter of digging out all the parts and hoping everything arrives safely. There's an issue. Some of the crucial steering parts have broken. While the rest of the team test the track, Phillipa and Laura wait on the support crew to find a makeshift solution.
Just had to go and get loose bearings, and basically we'll just have to pack them with grease and just sit the loose bearings on the bottom of the headset steerer. So it's the next best option. Yeah, I mean basically what's happened is the bottom part of the steering is missing the bearing. So what we've had to do is just go get some loose bearings, pack this into the back in here so they can actually steer. Without the bearing you can't even ride the bike. I mean, it's only a $7 part, but without it you can't ride. So
Finally, their tandem is fixed. It's unfamiliar terrain, and it doesn't help that Phillipa's low vision affects her balance.
It's so nerve-wracking being on the back of the bike or putting your hand in somebody else as well. I can black out, not faint, like you're not in typical drop on the ground kind of thing, but my vision will just go and it will just black out, and then when that happens it takes 4 or 5 days to recover, both with the vision and on the body. When it happens I just get so drained of any energy that I've got.
I'm just completely deaf without my hearing aids. I was born this way and I've had hearing aids since I was 18 months old, and because I've had those hearing aids in, I've progressed with the technology. So it's just, I'm really, really lucky in that respect to be able to communicate clearly and easily with other people.
Their partnership is so new, they aren't even ranked. The 22-kilometre time trial is their chance to show the selectors they've got medal potential. Their 4th place proves they've got Paralympic promise.
Yeah, it's only our 2nd road race together, so we weren't too worried about the result, we just wanted to see what it's like.
It's been a huge sacrifice taking up the Paralympic challenge. Phillipa's left her life behind in the Waikato and moved to Invercargill, where she's close to her pilot and the velodrome where they train. She's staying in a motel while trying to find a flat and spending a lot of time on her own. Some days, it all seems too much.
I was just training 24/7 with all the ambitions of making it towards London Olympics. I've got some friends down here now, but no family or anything, and family is where your main key support is. Thank you. I'm down here for business. I'm down here to do a job, and it's to cycle, and then when it's over I'll have a new adventure kind of thing. So it's just, I suppose other people would do it if they've got an awesome job opportunity somewhere else away from home kind of thing, but this opportunity is a sporting opportunity, and it's one that's going to take me to the London Olympics hopefully. So in terms of sacrifices, it's worth it. It's going to work because I want it to work, and that's the way you have to think.
Watching Phillipa, there's barely a hint of the level of her vision impairment. She manages because everything is done to routine.
With my hearing impairment, my vestibular system has been imbalanced, and the vestibular system, which is a component and part of your ears, is what's responsible for everybody's balance. And with mine being impaired, it makes me more wobblier and can't quite stand on one knee without falling over or something like that. So my sense of balance is sometimes disrupted. And when I'm riding on a bike, like it's all right now because the bike's stationary and it's not moving, but when I'm riding on the tandem with Laura, sometimes little movements kind of overcorrect, or depending on what happened on the bike.
Phillipa and Laura are slowly getting to know one another on and off the track.
Did Kylie tell you about my wisdom tooth? You have to have 3 out or something. I meant to get all 4 of them out. Huh. The top 2 have come through. That one came through 2 days ago, just poked through. And the other 2 down the bottom are about to. But then Joan said don't get them out. How come? Because to get all 4 out you have to have at least a week of training. Because otherwise you just get too much risk of infection, and I'm not going to get headaches and all that stuff in London.
Just getting them out, eh?
I've got to respect that Laura's doing something pretty amazing for me to get me to London. I've just learnt, well really in the last 18 months riding with Laura, I've learnt how to ride a bike, which is different to just riding a bike. There's different mentality to go with actually learning how to pedal and put down power and when to back it off and how to keep it on and just how to read Laura on the bike too, like if she wants to make an attack in a road race or we're doing a hard out effort and I'm not matching her, then I know how to feel for that now and stuff, so.
7, 8! 8 home, keep it going!
She knows if I slack, I don't. And she knows when I can push her and she's not feeling good, so we both know. Pilot and stoker relationship is unique. You'll never get that kind of a relationship somewhere else. It's literally like you have to be married without knowing anything about each other and then you just have to get on. Without the pilot, you wouldn't be able to ride the bike. Like the pilot is 100% worth their weight in gold. If, like if Laura wasn't there, I wouldn't be going around in circles. She just, it's pretty amazing.
She's just trying to score brownie points, so I ride hard this afternoon, I think.
It's sort of a hard dynamic because of the, she's dependent on me, putting in the effort, and then it's not really my thing, I'm not a para athlete, so it's not. But then I'm such a big contributor to it, it's still sort of a strange sort of relationship, so it's hard to sort of, when you first get thrown together, to sort of work it all out,
I always try and find the route when I'm walking somewhere that's got the easiest road crossings on it. Yeah, I generally don't want to get run over by a car, so yeah, do worry about that. You have to relocate to literally the other end of the country from where my parents live and where all my family, where all my friends and all the support that I've built up over my life so far. It was quite a hard change. But then I kind of have come to realise that it's a change for the best, because I've been moved away and I've learnt how to fend for myself, as well as my independence to get to and from venues and to find and ask for help from people who I know are going to be supportive enough and figure out where the supermarket is and find a place that is adequate enough for me to live.
While cycling is all-encompassing for now, she's also thinking long-term. Phillipa's studying therapeutic sport massage and has the help of a note-taker for her classwork.
When you relocate to a place and you're a stranger, you've got to make new friends there, obviously, but it's been a little bit more difficult for me because I'm, especially with making friends with my classmates and stuff, I'm away and then I miss a good bonding session with class, and then it's like I'm away again and then I'm back in there and I'm sort of trying to catch up with the lecturers, so I'm not actually kind of connecting with my peers as well as I should be. But it is what it is. I can't help it. I'm here for cycling, so, and I know I've still got my own network of lifelong friends anyway, so I just hang on to that and keep talking to them, and it's what gets me through. Hearing that just as difficult as my vision, it takes so much more concentration in class than my peers. It's quite draining and quite fatiguing to study as well, and so that's where I really have to balance the study load versus the cycling load.
sore spots on your back at all? Massage is an ideal career path for me because I don't need vision. Really, it's a good long-term plan. When you're massaging someone, you're looking through your fingers, not through your eyes. Like, my fingers are telling me exactly what the muscles are doing underneath and telling me what's tight and what's not and what's loose and where a knot is and how the skin feels and whether the skin's too tight over the muscles or and you just feel all through your hands. I could just relax. I can even close my own eyes if I really wanted to during giving a massage.
Everywhere there are challenges. Labels and numbers are difficult to see. Noisy environments make it even harder. Phillipa can't see at night and can only read when there is high contrast.
Quite a lot of information for my poor old eyes to take in. Last year I was on the other side of town, living in an old 1970s type house, I suppose. It's quite cute, but it was freezing cold. Absolutely freezing cold. It was so cold you wake up and you could see your breath in your own bedroom while you're still in bed. And it's like, oh, I don't really want to get out of that. And then you'd walk outside and it'd be warmer outside and it's still -3 outside. And, oh, that's not ideal. Selection criteria is just huge and there's so many people involved in it, but I've dated, I don't know how it'll work, but basically all I know is we get a phone call from the CEO of PNZ to say whether or not we make the team, and that's all I have to worry about. But that's not too far away. But in the meantime, we just train like we're going and just hope for the best.
Phillipa and Laura will race in the 3,000 metre pursuit at the World Paracycling Track Championships in LA. This training camp is their last chance to show selectors that they're up to racing with the world's best.
5! Nine.
For Paralympics New Zealand to take them seriously, they need to set a new personal best.
Broke 340.
And what's that?
Like
Tell us what's happened.
our PB ever, and world ranking wise, it's really up there. Like a year ago, gold and silver were doing 339, and bronze was a 341. So that's a real massive confidence boost going into LA for us. So that's a PB with Laura and I going strong. And we never stopped. That hurt, like we had to fight for every single split second after that. After 6 laps, kind of like just kept fighting and fighting to get it. So we got it.
For the first time, Phillipa feels like she deserves to be here. And she and Laura are clicking as a tandem.
Our goal was to gel as fast as we could and take our times and take our ability on the tandem up to another level in comparison to what we were doing at the Oceanas in early November last year. And we've come down here and we've gelled on the bike straight away, and everything has gone well, our prep's gone well. We're both physically in a good space with our bodies, mentally at the best. I've come into a pre-competition camp and we're ready to go over to LA and just take it to the rest of the world and show them that the Kiwis have got what it takes.
This is the last qualifying event for the London Paralympics. The world's best track cyclists are here. Classifiers need to measure Phillipa's vision.
And another question about your audition, is it the same or is it evolving, decreasing?
My vision.
Audition.
Oh, my hearing.
Yeah.
My hearing's stable.
Is? Yes, I know, but is it decreased or is it always the same?
It's always the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want you to check something.
Yeah.
You will have to look in front of you, but at which moment you have this feeling that there is something which comes on the side.
Okay.
If I can feel it before I see it, do I still say that?
No, you've got to see it.
You've got to see it.
If you sense it,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay?
You're going straight ahead.
Yeah.
And keep on blinking. Keep on blinking. That's it. Good fixation. Good.
Should be two. Yeah, I think it should be two, of course. As you have, that it's 10 degrees of diameter. So she's 5 degrees of diameter. So it should be two.
Phillipa's sight has deteriorated. She has just 7.5% vision.
Okay, well, good luck.
And be careful with your nose.
I will.
The next morning, Phillipa's missing from team breakfast. She's been vomiting all night with a stomach bug. Despite being ill, they're racing for bronze in the 3,000 metre pursuit. They've done it.
In first place, and winner of the bronze medal from New Zealand, Phillipa Gray and Laura Thompson.
Bronze here is enough to secure her place on the New Zealand Paralympic team. Phillipa's on her way to London.
London, you know, like it's just under 9 weeks away now till race day, and it's a very real reality that it's actually happening now. Like, I'm definitely in the team and I've definitely got a pilot and we've definitely got a bike that's working and we're definitely going to the Olympics, you know, like holy jeepers, that's going to happen. And so that's quite cool, rather than just training and going through the motion saying, oh, I might get there, I might not, but like, hang on a sec, I'm actually going, so it's a very real reality.
Taking as many views as you can, because sometimes memory can be so strong that you can almost just taste the sea breeze in your memory. It definitely drives you to achieve, but it drives you to achieve in all areas of life. Like, my sporting commitments at the moment are just one area of my life that I'm really striving towards achieving to the highest level possible. I've got vision now and I want to make the most of it, because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring, and so you live every day as though it's my last seeing day.